Hi there, hi there, hi there. Welcome to the vendor event. I'm so excited you're here. And quick show of hands, I mean, in the chat, of course. How many of you have never been to a Norwex party? Because the reason I ask is some of you may have Norwex, but you may not understand all of the basics of what you have in your house. So if you have or you haven't, I hope you'll find this interesting. If you've been to one, I'm going to repeat myself a little bit, but it's always fun. So first of all, I want to say I'm Sherry, and I represent Norwex, and this is a way to get chemicals out of our house. There are chemicals in almost everything: our food, our makeup, our hair care, and our cleaning products. But who thought about cleaning products being linked with wellness? I was a little slow to get there myself. So anyway, I'm very passionate about it because it's a super easy way to get a whole bunch of really harmful chemicals out of your house very quickly. So let me just introduce you to a couple things. So first of all, raw chicken is one of those things that gets people, right? Like, it's nasty, and I happen to have some here for you. And it's one of those things that people break out all of the stuff to take care of that problem so that they don't have sick people in their house. Makes sense, right? So let me tell you a couple things. Before we get into how to deal with it, I'm going to tell you how not to deal with it. So these wipes, and there's a lot of different brands out there, but they are supposed to kill 99% of the bacteria. That's what it says on the label, or the front, in big bold letters. And the truth of the matter is, they probably aren't unless you're actually using them correctly, and very few people do. And I'd be curious for some of you who are watching this to see if you have actually read the instructions and used them properly. So I'll go through that just because I think it was such an aha for me. I was like, oh, mind blown. It's very small print, and I'm at the age where it's even harder to read, which interesting. But basically, if we are using these correctly, we are using enough wipes over and over and over again to keep the surface wet, visibly wet, for 3 to 11 minutes, depending on what brand. Well, let's go with 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Have you ever timed yourself? Like, I guarantee I don't have the patience to do that. And even if I had read the directions, which I hadn't, I probably wouldn't do it correctly. Second thing, it says that it should not be used around food. You're supposed to clean the surface, and then you disinfect the surface, and then you clean all the residue off of it. So that's on top of that 3 minutes to 11 minutes that we're not doing. So cleaning 3 times, waiting, going through enough wipes to keep it visibly wet for that length of time. We're talking money. And we are not, unless we are doing all of these things, we're not even killing the germs. We are not killing 99% of bacteria. We're actually killing a few, and then the ones that live through it get resistant to that product and become superbugs. So most of you have probably heard about these, sorry about the call, all of these different resistant bacteria that actually require IV antibiotics to get rid of. Yeah, so being a physician assistant, believe me, I've seen my share of these, and I was dead set on not having that cycle continue in my house. So that was kind of my aha and what started me in this journey. So back to the wipes. Did you know that they're actually classified as a pesticide? Huh, okay. I grew up on a farm. I know all about pesticides. Did you know that they're not supposed to be around humans and domestic animals? Huh, any of those in your house? Yeah, that's what I thought. So, I mean, we're trying to be good mamas, right? We're wiping down the kitchen so nobody gets sick. We're wiping down the toys because, I don't know, especially if they're at a daycare and they're sharing toys and we think we're being so good. Okay, we're not. And so let's get rid of these. On top of the fact that they cost a lot, put a lot in the landfill, they're bad juju in every way. And we're not using them correctly anyway, so they're not convenient. They actually don't really pick up stuff. They smear stuff and leave a residue behind. So then you have countertops that are kind of dull. Okay, so people are like, well, I don't have any better options. Yeah, you do. All right, so raw chicken. Now, why do I use raw chicken? Well, because it's nasty. It is super nasty. And all this raw chicken juice that I just smeared on here, I know it's here. You can see it. And I'm going to hold this up so you can really see it. I don't know if the light is catching it quite right, but there's a whole bunch of juice there. And we're going to swab it. Now, this swab is not a Norwex swab, but it is actually ProClean. I think these are used in restaurants to, with inspectors, they test them, make sure they're, cleaning well. And if they find protein, they're not. So blue or purple is protein. And sorry, Tracy, I know that you like purple, but in this case, it's not good. And green is clean. All right. Let's squish all the stuff, the solution down there. And as you can see, there was a lot of protein there because it's like instantaneous purple. All right, so now I'm going to introduce you to the solution, all right? And this cloth, it doesn't look all that, but it really is. I'm just realizing I matched my shirt. So this cloth is the EnviroCloth, E for everything. That's what you use it for, everything. The grease on the front of your cabinets, the dust and the grease on top of your stove hood, the grease all over your cook, your oven, your stove, the chicken juice on your countertop, all the other stuff, the jam, whatever ends up on your countertop, the toilets. You can take all the bacteria off the seat and the surround with just water and a cloth. So this is pre-wet. A few things about this cloth if you're not familiar with it, and sorry if you are, but 4 things that make it different from a typical microfiber. So typical microfibers are 1/6 of a hair in diameter, and they're grabby, right? Hi, Rosie, good to see you. So they're grabby, and of course, they work pretty well, but we still need the chemicals because you know what they don't pick up? They don't pick up anything super tiny. So Norwex's microfiber is 1/200th of a hair in diameter. So for all you hair care girls here, we don't like split ends. Imagine 200 split ends, right? That's Norwex microfiber. Second thing that makes it different is it has silver, microsilver embedded in each fiber. Like it's not going to wash out. It's part of the fiber. It's like coffee and creamer for the coffee girls here. Cheers to y'all. And the silver is an antimicrobial. So the bacteria doesn't have babies in your cloth. It doesn't get that funky stink. It doesn't smear more bacteria the next time you use it on your kitchen counter. And you don't have to wash it as often. Of course, you want to, hang to dry, make sure it dries in between uses. And after a good use, you want to rub it against itself and release what you've grabbed onto, whatever you use to clean. I fold it in half and fold it in half again. So I have 8 clean sides before I even have to rinse it. It's very efficient. Now, the third thing that's different is it is thick. I don't know if you can see this, but this is one from my own kitchen. This is one that I use on the regular. It's not a brand new cloth, and it will last a long, long time. But if I were to unravel this, it would reach from Manitoba, Canada to the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. It's like crazy, right? All in one cloth. And then the fourth thing that's different is our microfiber is so amazing and holds up so well that if you're using it properly, which you clean, right? You can clean every day with it, and it has a 2-year warranty. Now, I always say like a car, it's going to last past its warranty. I have my original from 2009. Now, I must admit, it might have a stain or 2. It's not as pretty as it once was, but it's still in service. As my clothes get less pretty, they go to garage and that kind of cleaning, outdoor cleaning. But anyway, so this thing is how we're going to clean this chicken juice, which it's still on here, it's still wet. And I am just gonna go over this, wipe, wipe, wipe. As you saw, lots of elbow grease used for that. And because it's chicken juice, let's just wipe it one more time. Okay, now that quick wipe, I'm just gonna ask you a question. Was that 3 minutes? Nope. This is why I love this. You can clean in so much faster fashion. Like this is perfect for us working moms, us moms in general, anyone who's just busy. And I think that's probably all of us. This is just such an awesome way. So let's take the other one and test it. All right, squish, squish. Now it should remain green for clean because what I did is I mechanically removed the germs and the chicken juice and all that protein. There we go. And whoa, check that out, right? That's so cool. And now I just want to say I would normally go to the faucet, rub it against itself, release all that, hang to dry, let that silver go to work. And of course you can wash these. You just don't have to wash them as often because they don't get so stinky and nasty, filled with germs. So hopefully this was fun and informative on giving you the basics of Norwex microfiber, because all of the microfiber has these qualities. It's all amazing. It comes in a lot of different versions and flavors and colors and more. But whether you're talking body cloths to clean your body and your face, or counter cloths to keep, to replace your paper towels, the microfiber is all the same. This just happens to be our heavy duty cleaning cloth because it's got so much fiber. It is so thick, and yet it dries fast. You will never go back to another way of cleaning. Not once you try this. All right.